If you're a Lakers fan or just an NBA junkie who loves trade rumors and front office moves, buckle up because today's story is a wild one. The Los Angeles Lakers, one of the most scrutinized franchises in the league, are once again in the center of NBA trade conversations, and this time it revolves around the team's plans, their flexibility, and specifically the value of two names that might surprise you: Gabe Vincent and Maxi Kleber. These aren't the first two guys you think of when blockbuster trades get tossed around, but their names and contracts are playing a very real part in the trade calculus. So if you've been wondering what the Lakers are up to behind the scenes, what their actual trade strategy looks like, and whether players like Vincent and Kleber could be keys in making a deal happen, stay tuned. We're going to break it all down, piece by piece, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what kind of chess game the Lakers front office is playing. The introduction of this story starts with where the Lakers are right now. This is a team with championship aspirations but still serious roster questions. LeBron James, entering the twilight years of his legendary career, needs all the support he can get, and Anthony Davis, despite his elite talent, continues to carry concerns about injuries. The Lakers made smart moves to surround their stars with depth, but the truth is, this team doesn't yet feel like it has enough firepower to go toe-to-toe with teams like the Denver Nuggets, the Boston Celtics, or even younger rising squads in the West. That's why trade plans are now becoming a headline, and why the names Gabe Vincent and Maxi Kleber are surfacing as potential assets. Let's start with Gabe Vincent. The Lakers signed him last offseason with the hope that he'd bring veteran poise, defense, and playoff-tested shot-making after his incredible run with the Miami Heat to the 2023 Finals. The expectation was that Vincent would slide into that third guard role behind or alongside Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell, giving the Lakers versatility in the backcourt. But injuries derailed most of his time in purple and gold. He barely saw the court last year, and his absence left a hole the Lakers had to scramble to fill. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Vincent's contract is still reasonable, and around the league, teams know that if healthy, he can provide value. In trade talks, he isn't a flashy piece, but he's a stabilizer, a salary-matching asset with upside. Now, let's pivot to Maxi Kleber. Lakers fans might raise their eyebrows here because Kleber, of course, isn't even a Laker right now. He's a Dallas Maverick. But when you look at how the Lakers build trade packages, Kleber's name comes up in scenarios where the Lakers would be looking to add size, floor spacing, and defensive versatility. Kleber is the kind of veteran role player who can fit next to stars. He's battled injuries himself, but when on the floor, he's a guy who can knock down threes, defend multiple positions, and play either front-court spot. His contract is also attractive. It's not huge, but it's long enough that he can be either an asset or a piece of financial flexibility depending on how a team views him. For the Lakers, someone like Kleber fits the mold of what they need: more reliable depth in the front court, another body to help Davis, and a floor spacer who doesn't take the ball away from LeBron. This is where the Lakers' trade plan begins to take shape. They aren't looking at massive blockbuster deals in every scenario, although they'll never close the door on that possibility. Instead, they're trying to be aggressive in a smart way, exploring deals where contracts like Vincent's can help match salaries, while targeting role players or secondary stars that fit their win-now timeline. Remember, the Lakers are operating under the pressure of maximizing LeBron's final years, but they also want to avoid gutting their roster for one swing that leaves them too thin. That's why players like Kleber are in the conversation. They're not superstars, but they're valuable role players who help you win playoff games. What makes this even more layered is how the Lakers value draft picks. They're very cautious about trading away their future firsts, and because of the Stepien rule, their flexibility is limited. That means when they do include picks, they want to make sure the return justifies the sacrifice. And this is where Vincent comes in again. he's part of that middle-tier salary grouping that allows the Lakers to go after guys making between $20 million without giving up one of their top names. Pair Vincent with another player, maybe Rui Hachimura or Jared Vanderbilt, and suddenly you've got a package that can bring back a high-level rotation player. Add in Kleber as a potential target, and you see the logic. The Lakers want versatile, switchable defenders who can shoot, not ball-dominant stars who overlap with LeBron and AD. We also have to address what this means for continuity. The Lakers have been criticized for too much roster turnover during the LeBron era, but in recent years, Rob Pelinka has emphasized building around a core and making tweaks instead of overhauls. If Vincent can stay healthy, they might even prefer to keep him and let him prove his worth. But in trade talks, his name is going to come up simply because of how his contract fits. As for Kleber, the Mavericks may or may not be willing to part with him depending on their own plans around Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. But for the Lakers, keeping an eye on players like Kleber shows their strategy is less about swinging blindly and more about identifying role players who raise the team's ceiling. Zooming out, this all ties into the bigger question: what is the Lakers' ceiling right now? As constructed, they're good, but they're not clearly better than Denver, Boston, or even Oklahoma City, which has youth and depth. To bridge that gap, they need shooting, health, and defense. Vincent theoretically gives you that, and Kleber does too. So whether the Lakers trade for them, or keep them, these names represent the blueprint, complementary players who make LeBron and AD's jobs easier. But let's not forget the stakes. LeBron isn't going to play forever, and every wasted year is another missed opportunity. The Lakers know this. That's why they're willing to explore aggressive options on the trade market, even if it means shuffling some pieces around. They can't afford to sit still while other contenders get stronger. The Western Conference is unforgiving, and one bad roster decision could sink your season. So where does this leave us? The Lakers' trade plan is all about balance, leveraging contracts like Vincent's, evaluating targets like Kleber, and deciding how much future draft capital they're willing to risk. Fans might want the splashy headline deal, but sometimes the moves that win championships are the smart, under-the-radar ones. Think about the Lakers adding guys like Derek Fisher in the past, or how role players like Alex Caruso elevated the team's defense. Those aren't household names compared to superstars, but they're winners. Kleber fits that archetype, and Vincent, if healthy, does too. In closing, the Lakers front office has a roadmap. They know they need more than just LeBron and AD to win, and they're looking at every angle to find those missing pieces. Gabe Vincent's value isn't just in what he brings on the court, but in how his contract helps facilitate moves. Maxi Kleber, while not flashy, represents the kind of versatile, steady player the Lakers covet. And the larger trade plan is simple: be aggressive, be smart, and don't waste time. Because for LeBron James and the Lakers, the window is now, and every move matters. And now it's your turn. Do you think the Lakers should move on from Gabe Vincent if the right deal comes along, or should they give him another chance to prove himself? Would Maxi Kleber be a good addition to this roster, or should the Lakers be swinging bigger? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you're as passionate about Lakers basketball as we are, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe for more breakdowns, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. The trade market is heating up, and we'll be here to break it all down for you every step of the way.